First off, let's acknowledge that the consumer's job and responsibility is to get the best deal possible when purchasing anything. A refrigerator, a cooler, a motorhome, boat, car, house, etc. Their job is to spend as little money as humanly possible and get the best deal out there. Now that we have said that, when it comes to the truck camper portion of the RV industry, there's a lot of confusion and a lot of lies out there about what's possible when it comes to the word sales tax. It's an evil word, but there's 37 states that charge sales tax of some sort, and they're Republican states and they're Democratic states. So it's not a political thing, right? Just like there's some states that are Democratic that don't have an income tax. And then there's Republican states that don't have an income tax. So it's not a political measure. So everybody's going to sit there and start making about politics in the comments. Please stop. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. I'm the host, John Levingston, aka the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as some other things. Now, in this episode, I'm going to cover the basics of it, and I am going to use California as an example, but I'm also going to use Nevada and Arizona as an example as well. If you have sales tax in your state and you are purchasing a truck camper, you may want to look into the actual real laws, not believe some phony baloney person over the phone that's just trying to make a deal. Okay, I've run into this too many times in the last 15 years, and it's just time to do a video on it. Now, I know a lot of you are going to scream and yell, "Oh, you're intimidating people. You're full of crap. Oh, rah, rah." But you know what? I'm going to give you the way you can avoid tax on a truck camper or any RV or car purchase. So I'm going to give you both sides of it. I'm not just going to give you, I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to give you both sides so that way you have a better understanding of what is legal and what is not legal, and not taking some manufacturer in Washington or some dealer in Oregon's word for it. Okay, now, what makes truck campers special? Well, and again, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but by my memory, 38 states do not register or title truck campers. You don't have to go to the DMV and actually report that you bought something. See, that's where the mix-up comes in, okay? And I'm not sure if Arkansas has sales tax, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm just going to use Arkansas as an example. So you're in Arkansas, you have, let's say, a 4% sales tax, but Texas tells you, a Texas dealer says, well, yeah, you don't have to pay sales tax because you're an Arkansas resident. Let's say Arkansas doesn't have a registration or a title for a slide-in truck camper, so you're like, well, I don't have to do anything. I can save the sales tax and cheat the government. Okay? But can you? And the answer to that is no. But I'll get into why it's no a little bit later. The best example is California, because most states follow in California's footsteps in how they deal with taxation on sales tax. Not every state, but a lot of states follow a lot of those things, okay? In California, there's two types of tax. There is a sales tax and there's a use tax. Use tax is if you go buy a motorhome, as an example, in Texas. Let's say you got on a plane, you found a nice diesel pusher, a motorhome specialist in Texas. You drive it back, you take it to the DMV with your contract, your driver's license, your insurance, all that fun stuff. And then they give you a use tax form, and they give you a registration fee, and you pay both at the DMV, okay? It's not a sales tax, it's a use tax. Now, sales tax and use tax are pretty much the same exact percentage in California. In some other states, they differ. Sometimes the use tax is a little bit higher, or what they call use tax, and sometimes the sales tax is higher. The exceptions, I'm going to throw this as an exception, is Arizona and Nevada. When you purchase a used motorhome or used travel trailer or used car privately, no matter what state you purchase it in, you pay no tax. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. All right. And there's other examples of other states. I just don't remember them off the top of my head. All right. So let's say you're going to buy a Host camper, something I don't sell. So we're going to use a company I don't sell. Host camper, let's say it's a $70,000 camper. You see a dealership in Oregon that's got the same one you want. They're a little more expensive than the dealership you're actually working with in California, but you make a phone call because you want to do your due diligence. You want to do your homework to make sure you get the best price possible. So you call them and they go, well, we can make you one hell of a deal because if you come buy it here, you never have to pay the state of California any tax. Wrong. And let me show you how they catch you with this, okay? Because I'm going to get into that in a minute. Okay. So you go up to Oregon, you pay cash, you finance it, whatever the case may be. A warranty registration card gets turned in by the dealership to Host Manufacturing. Now, the state of California, Arizona, Idaho, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Washington State all have the ability to actually go to the manufacturer and audit their warranty registration cards and compare it to the contracts that were turned in by the dealerships in that state. And they can go after you for the tax. But that's not the most common way. The most common way is now you have a 1-year warranty on that truck camper. According to the state of California, and I am going to put this and link this in the description box below. You must keep the vehicle, no matter what you purchase, you have to keep it outside of the state of California for 12 months. And you have to prove it. So you buy it January 5th, 2027. You can't bring it back into the state of California until January 5th, 2028. Which means if you happen to bring it here into California where you live and a slide out goes bad, you cannot get that worked on in California. Your warranty will be no good because if you do get the warranty work done in California, they can actually be audited. That service center can be audited for your repair order, or they can simply turn you in, which a lot of truck camper service departments will turn you in because you skipped over them because you didn't read the law. Now, that's not a threat, guys. That's a fact. The state of California is no joke. The state of Nevada, the state of Florida, the state of North Carolina, the state of New York, the state of Arkansas, Alabama, these people do not joke with tax money. Tax money is what keeps the states going, no matter if you like them or not. You can hate your governor. You can hate your own freaking government. That's okay. It's understandable. And I digress and I repeat, it is your job to spend as little as humanly possible. So you've taken out a state delivery, whether you bought it from another state, whether you took possession outside the state of California, as an example, it has to stay out. Or you got to drive it all the way back to the dealership you purchased it from in Oregon, in Washington, in Nevada, and get it actually worked on there. So that way there's proof it's been outside of the state of California, as an example. Okay, but how can I avoid that? Well, let me tell you how you can avoid it. You can avoid it by 3 ways. The first way is the most common way that a lot of people do big expensive purchases is they do an LLC in Montana. Very common way. Now it's a cash deal. Now you can buy it at your local dealer and still avoid sales tax. Montana is a 0 sales tax state. I don't know if they title and register truck campers. You'll have to check with the state of Montana on that. But let's say you bought it from Galaxy Campers in Ontario, California. You can now do an out-of-state delivery, take possession of it outside of the state of California. It is now under a business name in Montana, which means it's no longer under the jurisdiction of the state of California and the Bureau of Equalization or any kind of Department of Motor Vehicle outside of Montana. It's now Montana's issue. The second way you can do it is if you go and get a residence in another state with a driver's license in that state. Give you a great example. Let's just say this is the best example possible. Let's say that you are here, great example. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my words here. Military. Let's say you're a military representative. You're stationed in California, but you have a residence in Tennessee. As long as you have a Tennessee driver's license and that Tennessee residence, a dealership can do the same thing. This goes for Nevada too, because I've worked in Nevada, I've worked in Arizona, okay? As long as you're an out-of-state resident, you are not subject to that state's laws and taxes, but you are subject to your own. And the third way to avoid it is if you are a Native American or it's put under a Native American's name and address. Because no matter where they are, if they are living on the registration and reservation, they are exempt from most taxes and registration fees. That's the only way you can legally do it. So if you're going to sit there and believe the salesman in Oregon or the manufacturer in Washington or the manufacturer in Indiana that wants to tell you, oh yeah, you can come up here, we'll save you $5,000 or $6,000 that you don't have to. So now if something majorly goes wrong, because they're right, they're not going to, if it's not registered, how is anybody going to know? Well, they're going to know the minute you have a problem with the coach. And I'm sorry, no unit built, no matter if it's an Arctic Fox, a Host, a Northern Light, they're going to have issues. You're going to have warranty work done on it. So let me ask you a question. If you're a Nevada resident, okay, any resident, is it worth the risk of getting a bill from your state? Now, I'm excluding Oregon and Montana and zero sales tax places. Is it worth it to go to jail? Is it worth it to get a tax bill with interest? Is it worth it to not be able to get your coach worked on? Is it worth it to save $5,000 or $6,000? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you. If you guys think that, you know what, having zero warranty from the manufacturer, I'll fix everything. I would rather skip out on everything and fix it all myself. And if there's a major lemon law problem, well, you know what? I'll just deal with it. Would you rather do that because you can save $5,000 or $6,000? Or would you rather do things the right way in order to have service, warranty, and protection under the laws? Because that's the price you pay. You either pay, look, if you don't want to pay Gavin Newsom or what's his name in Florida or what's her name in New York or what's his name in PFE, whatever state, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. If you don't want to pay them because you think they're trash and they're horrible people, I get it. Do it the right way. The right way is go get a Montana LLC, go get an out-of-state residence. Be friends with somebody that is a Native American of any tribe that lives on a reservation. Those are the three ways that you can deal with it and avoid it and not have the problems with service. Not have to worry about if a slide goes bad that you have to drive another 1,100, 1,200 miles just to get it fixed. Do things the right way and listen rather than listen to the people in your own state that actually deal with this on a daily basis, not some knucklehead that's desperate for a deal in January that lives in Oregon, or a new sales rep for a manufacturer that doesn't know their head from a hole in the ass. So don't believe what you hear over the phone or what you read on the internet or what you see in some video by some idiot that doesn't know what they're saying. Do it the right way. Now you end up not worrying about a tax bill, not worrying about jail time, depending on what the situation and the state you live in. You don't have to worry about your dealership or the service centers in your state going, I'm not going to do one with you. Common sense. Until next time, remember RV stands for toolkit and sense of humor.